everyone, this is Becca from Becca's Music Room. I'm a music teacher who talks about teacher tips, teacher life, teacherpreneurs, and all things that might hopefully make your life just a little bit easier. Today we're going to talk about something very important, and that is what are the most important things that you need to do to go back to school. If you find this video interesting or helpful at all, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share to help other teachers find it as well. Alright, so back to school time. This can either go two ways. You can either be super excited about back to school or really not excited about your summer to end. I'm not gonna lie, I tend to be in this category of people, but I'm also excited to get back to teaching music and singing and dancing and doing all those fun things with my kiddos. So back to school happens and it's like this flurry of pencils and buying new classroom products and making new things and TBT sales and all these things that are just really exciting. And you see all over Pinterest like classroom tours and all these Pinterest perfect classrooms and like gorgeous things and flexible seating out of the wazoo. And that's awesome, first of all. Super awesome. I even did a classroom tour last year for my music room. I will link it down below because honestly this year not much has changed. And those things are really awesome. It's not the most important thing. So this video is especially important for new teachers who are maybe overwhelmed and terrified. There's really only 3 things you need to do to be ready for back to school. There's lots of things you can do to get back to school, but 3 things that really need to happen. And they're maybe not the most exciting things. Those things are rituals, routines, and lessons. So why are these important? Because these are the things that are actually gonna make your classroom run. The most important things in your classroom are your classroom management and your teaching. It doesn't matter if your classroom is gorgeous or completely bare. If you really work on your classroom management and your teaching, everything else is fine. Like, yeah, it's cool to have really pretty classroom, and you'll see if you go look at mine that I do have, you know, like a little bit of a color scheme going, and I have bought some stuff for it, but not a lot because I try to spend my time working on these other things. So number 1 important thing, these really aren't in any particular order, but number 1 is gonna be your rituals. Rituals are all of the like ins and outs and nitty gritties of your classroom. Your rituals can encompass a lot of different things. Rituals are like the nitty gritty ins and outs of your classroom. What are you okay with kids doing and what are you not okay with kids doing? How are you gonna start the day? How are you gonna end the day? How are we going to get from point A to point B? All of those things are rituals and they all need to be thought about in advance. They go hand in hand with routines, which is number 2 and also super incredibly important. Routines are essential for the classroom. Routines are basically things that you do on a daily basis to make your classroom run. They include things like passing out supplies, getting in line, starting class, getting attention, how the kids ask for things, if they can ask for things, when you go to the bathroom, when you get water, all of those things fall under routines and they are so vitally important. Classes that run really well are ones that have really good routines that they are like sunk into them and they do on a normal basis. If you want to have a good classroom, focus on your routines. So things like, how are you gonna have the kids line up? If they line up, you need to do it a certain way, they need to do it the same way every time. Are you gonna have a line order? Are you gonna just have a free-for-all? Are you gonna do different ways, different times to have them use some of their brain and have some fun? Like all those things are things that you need to be thought about. All of those things are things that you can find on like Pinterest and lots of ideas. Go research routines for the classroom and just all those different things. I actually have some music specific ones that I will link down below to help you out. But having routines will just simplify your life as far as gathering supplies, getting in line, getting water, getting whatever. All of those things can be routines. Once the kids get the routine down, your life is so much easier. Not easy, but easier. and it's very important. So if you have the option to either choose between spending time researching how you're going to run your classroom and your classroom routines and setting up your classroom, go with the routines, because that's actually going to help your students learn faster. Number 3, again, not in any particular order, is getting some lesson ideas. Now, I don't think you need to go and like write all of your lesson plans right now. Like, that's definitely not necessary. But if you have a curriculum, start looking through it as soon as you can. You might be able to find some information online if you have something that like a lot of schools are using, and those kind of things that can just get you more familiar with it so that you're a little bit more ready. If you have some more freedom, like I teach music, I don't have an actual curriculum. I do have things that I teach, I have standards, but I don't have a curriculum. So I get to choose things. So I like to go through and like look on Pinterest, look at blogs, look through books, all those kind of things to just get a few new ideas, because I have been teaching a couple of years. But especially my first year, y'all, I had pages and pages of research I had done on different ideas for things we could do. Because I knew once school started, I was not going to have time to peruse through Pinterest and teachers pay teachers and find more lessons. I knew I had a lot more time during the summer to do that. So when you're going to set up your classroom, make sure that yes, your classroom is functional and aesthetically pleasing, but really make sure that you focus on rituals, routines, and lessons. Also remember that you can change your classroom at any point. So you can keep going in your classroom. You can keep adding things. You can change things. You're going to add and change things as the school year goes, because you might have some decor items that you realize just are not working, and that's okay. Don't stress about your classroom. Focus on your rituals, your routines, your lessons. That is the academics and the classroom management, and it'll be so much better. Now again, having an awesome classroom is also awesome, but don't focus so much on your classroom that you don't know what you're gonna teach. You need to have both. And if you have to pick, go with what you're gonna teach and how you're gonna teach it as opposed to the classroom. If you have time, go for making the pretty classroom and then send me a picture and tell me how awesome you are. If you have anything to add, please make sure you leave it down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And if you found this interesting, make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and have a wonderful, wonderful week.